All right, 832. We got Mike out in Austin. Mike, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here, man. Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Kyle, thanks for. Hey, from this point, man, I'm going to just have to come to the defense of my team from this point. Bama fans, the world's not falling apart. I mean, we're still in the top 10. Newsflash, Nick Saban lost 2 games last year. Newsflash, he lost 2 games the year before. The fella that just called, I agree with most of what that guy says, but, man, the world is not falling apart, man. Here's what's happening, Kyle. By the way, thank you for letting me rant for a second.
Yeah.
Here's what's happening. I think Vanderbilt just played a good game, dude. That quarterback of theirs was 21 of 25. He played a Joe Montana-type game. They straight up beat us, man. It happens every now and then. It happened to Nick Saban year after year, guys. Get over it. The South Carolina game, it was an 11 a.m. game. I was worried about that game from the word go. I think Vanderbilt and South Carolina are a little underrated. And P.S., Kyle, with that being said, Kalen DeBoer is a first-year coach coming off a dynasty like we did with Nick Saban. This Bama team is still trying to find their identity, man. It's a new season in college football world, period. It's a new day at Alabama and Tuscaloosa. This team is still trying to find their identity. Give these guys a break, Daryl. My God, man. Give these guys a break. Bama Nation was top 10. We're undefeated. Yeah, the Vandy was a bad loss. It was a horrible loss. But give them credit, dude. They outplayed us. They were 49ers that day. Give them credit. They outplayed us. We're still trying to find our team, our identity, Kyle. And all this naysaying coming from these Bama fans is starting to frankly bug me. It's starting to bug me, man. I mean, what do they expect, dude? What do they expect? I mean, God, we're top 10. We're winning these games. We beat Georgia that never loses. We beat them. Remember that? I'm sorry, man. This is starting to bug me a little bit, dude. Vanderbilt straight up beat us, man. Get over it, Bama Nation. Get over it. We hung up and we beat South Carolina. I was worried about that 11 a.m. from the word go. They 11 a.m. from the word go. Kyle, I could just like Daryl said, he can rant forever about how horrible Bama is. I can rant forever about how good we are. That's what I can say, man. We got this game coming up. This weekend, Kyle. It's hard to pick, dude, because Tennessee is kind of in the same place we are. It's straight up 50-50. Here's what I think is going to go on, Kyle. If our defense plays well, yeah, we got issues, dude. And P.S., we had defensive issues with Nick Saban, P.S. But, yeah, we got defensive issues. But if they show up and they play good, we can win this ball game. I'm not worried about our offense. I think our offensive line problems have gelled a little bit, trying to figure out a little bit. Our defense, yeah, I'm worried about our defense. Everybody's worried, yes, I'm worried about our defense. Yes, we are. I'm not throwing the towel on them. I'm worried about them. I was worried from the word go, Kyle. The swarm defense, I'm all for it. But in the SEC, you got to have physicality first. You got to have upfront defensive physicality. That's what makes us the SEC. And then the swarm. Absolutely, I'm a little worried about our defense. But with that being said, I'm not throwing the towel. If they show up at Tennessee this weekend, we can beat Tennessee. We're a better team than Tennessee. I think I know we're ahead of them. But Bama Nation, it was a bad loss. Vandy was a bad loss. Vandy straight up outplayed us, and Joe Montana Jr. beat us that day. Let's move on. That's what I can say about that, Kyle. I'm sorry about the rant, man, but all these naysayers been getting on me lately, dude. And Daryl, I love this dude. Daryl's very knowledgeable. Huntsville. But the naysaying's got to stop, man. That's just where I stand on that, Kyle.
I appreciate the call, Mike. Good stuff, man. Thank you so much for calling. I'll catch up with you next time.
All right, brother.
All right, Mike out in Austin. We go back. We got 973. Looks like we got Chris in New Jersey. Let's take it. Chris, what's up, man? Hope you're off to a good Monday, man. Welcome into the show. Following Mike from Austin, who was hot, man. He's got a lot of support for his team. We go up to New Jersey. Chris from New Jersey, man. Come with it.
Kyle, I'm so happy Mike is out. I really am. Great call, Mike. Kyle, I'm going to say this. I've had a lot of little reflection time since the second half of Georgia.
Yeah.
And so I would probably say that I fall somewhere between Mike and Coach Darrell. And, I'm glad I didn't have to go after Coach Darrell because he is so knowledgeable. And I agree with I agree with both of them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just say this. Where my concern is my concern is not with our players. I not at all. So, my concern is that the second half of Georgia, we saw what happened, and we didn't, we got out coached. We didn't adjust, and that's on the coaches, right? And so we go into Vandy, a typical trap game. It's an offense that you're not going to really see. We thought we weren't going to see again until South Carolina was doing the same crap with those Tim Tebow shovel passes. But anyway, I look at the second half of Georgia, Womack, DeBoer. I look at Vandy. I put that on the shoulders of Womack, and why? Not because of the first half. But where were they? Kyle, we talked about this with the great coaches, Saban adjusting at half, Belichick, Parcells. We saw what they were doing for a half. Where was the adjustments in the second half of Andy, right? Mm-hmm. And we just couldn't stop them. I mean, at some point, the coaches have to go, you need to hit the up man. You need to, here's the pitch man. This is what they're doing. I mean, I'm not saying that guy had one of the callers said that guy had a Joe Montana day. Was that Mike?
Yeah,
he's right. That's a Joe Montana day, Johnny Manziel day. We could go on, and but now and then South Carolina and Kyle, your list that you had up was a great list. What's the real answer on that? And I think I said B and E, but what's the real answer, Kyle? The real answer is all the above, right? Mm-hmm. It's a little bit of everything, and listen. That defensive line for South Carolina, that is the three little words, NFL. That's an NFL defensive line. They're disruptive, and they had a great plan on getting after us and rushing us. And are we having a little issues at right guard and right tackle? Yeah. Well, Jaden Roberts is still hurt. So, but the one thing here's the one thing that makes me nervous, and it's nothing to do with our players. What makes me nervous is, where are these halftime adjustments? I mean, I'm sure DeBoer knows how to do it. I hope Womack knows how to do it because clearly he hasn't done it yet. So where the thing that makes me worry, what kind of game plan are they going to come up with? And what, now I remember coming out in the second half, how many times were we like, here we go, we're going to bomb them in the second half. And now I'm like, we're holding on for dear life in the second half, Kyle. Mm-hmm. So, I'm thinking one thing, adjustments. Now I'll give Womack some credit. He switched up his defense against South Carolina, which is a good sign. But Kyle, three little words you and I have spoken about: pressure. Mm-hmm. How come when we pressure these quarterbacks, we do great, and when we don't, they pick us apart? Mm-hmm. I mean, does somebody have to put one of those, what are those suggestion boxes, Kyle? And we'll just put in, everybody stuff it with pressure. We'll just keep on putting the little slips of paper in. Mm-hmm. But, so there we go. I mean, here's my semi-rant, and I'll probably in between Coach Darrell and Mike, who I love. I love both of those guys. I'm glad Mike's out. So, listen, it's early in the week, and I here go with Mike. We're 5-1. And have I been, also been one of these guys who has been like a naysayer in the chat when we're watching, like, we're going to lose? Yeah, I was flipping out, Kyle. I mean, let's just, who wasn't? So anyway, there's my little minor rant. But listen, 5-1, and I'm, Kyle, how did I start the show with you? This week is huge.
Yeah.
And, we're going to know a lot. On when we're the watch party, the after party, the Sunday morning, next Monday. Now, can we be, if it goes our way, can we be like with Mike? And if it doesn't go our way, can we be with Darrell? Well, I think we probably should still be in the middle with me, but but anyway, Kyle, great show. I'm looking forward to these interviews with the coaches, because I didn't like what Womack did last week. That was like, what's he, a politician? He didn't answer any of the questions. So, all right, listen, great show, Kyle. Roll Tide undefeated, and we will talk soon, brother.
All right, man. Take it easy. That was Chris out in New Jersey. 334 and 903. You're up next. Hang tight.